Hey everyone, welcome to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. And what are we talking about this time? Well, Sony's decided that PlayStation Plus needs a price increase. So starting September 6th, which is coming up here quick, the 12-month subscriptions for PlayStation Plus, Essentials, Extra, and Premium will have a price increase, and quite a substantial price increase. Currently, for the Essential package, it is $60 for a year. For Extra, it is $100 for a year. And for Premium, it's $120. That's what their current rate is today. So starting September 6th, the 12-month subscription, the Essential package, which was $60, will go up to $80. The Extra package, that was $100, will go to $135. And the Premium, which was $120, will go to $160 a year. So, of course, the 12-month subscription, for 12-month subscribers, you will not see the price increase until your next renewal date, which is a given, occurring on or after November 6th. Changing your membership, such as buying more time or upgrading, downgrading tiers on or after September 6th, means paying the new price. Sony hasn't stated the discount. Sony did state that, of course, the yearly, paying it yearly is a discount compared to the monthly and quarterly. They did not, however, as of yet, have revealed the new prices for monthly and quarterly. So Premium, which is going to $160, that would be basically around $13 a month. So I would suspect that, if the $160 is going to be the discounted price, I would say that probably monthly is going to be $15 a month if you were to pay it monthly, because then it would still be a discount for the year price.
It's $18 a month right now, so I don't think it's going to go down.
160 would be,
but it's right
13,
now. It's 18. It's $18.
It's 18 a month right now. Jeez,
yeah, it's 18.
That's a hell of an increase.
Yeah, it's
so it'd probably be like $20 a month then.
Yeah, the Plus Premium is $18 a month or $50 every 3 months currently.
Man, I wasn't expecting the monthly and quarterly to be that high. I figured just a couple of dollars, off of, you get a little bit of a discount if you go with the year, you get, a few bucks off. But if it's $18 a month right now at $120 a year, that's highway robbery.
It's like $100 off, right? Right now, it's like $100 off.
Right. So, paying yearly is still going to be, even at this price increase, is still going to be the better option. But it's a hell of a price increase, and we'll go around and see what everybody thinks. Now, Xbox doesn't have quarterly or yearly options, unfortunately. Xbox Game Pass is $15 a month. Or 16, I'm sorry, it's 16, right? Or 17? Did it go to 17?
$16.99, it's 17 for Ultimate,
that's right.
Yeah.
Forgot it went up in price. Everybody's raising their rates. But still, though, that's still $1 cheaper than the monthly rate for PlayStation. I just don't. So, they're pretty close in pricing at the moment, right? They won't be after this. For some people, there might be some benefit to PlayStation Plus, Premium, Extra, Ultimate Edition. I have Premium, Extra, Ultimate Edition. I bought a couple, quite a few. I bought like a couple years of them when they were super cheap, like before it even started, like before they increased the price of the new tiers and everything. You could kind of stack up just the yearly PlayStation Plus, and it would transfer over to the Premium. So I stacked up a couple of years before that happened, just so I could check out the PlayStation Plus Premium and stuff. And I check it out from occasionally from, here and there, but there's really not anything on there that I don't find myself using the service that much. I don't download a lot of games through there. I don't play a lot of them through there. A lot of the Sony first party games are games that, they're not releasing day and date like Xbox is. So a lot of those are older games that I've already played or probably already own. And then the only thing I typically play on there is some of the older games, some of the retro games, and some of the older maybe PS4 games that I missed out on the PS4 that I don't own. Those kind of niche titles that you don't really see a lot or don't hear about a lot that you kind of want to check out, and see, was this any good? But you don't want to go actually buy it. And so, that's maybe when I typically use it, but I don't use it that often. Not as much as I use like Game Pass. I'll at least once a month, I've probably downloaded at least 1 to 2 Game Pass games and played, not necessarily to completion on those games, but I've at least downloaded a few on there that's come out to that. It depends on what's coming out first party for Xbox, right? But, downloaded a few of that. And Game Pass, I feel like, has paid for itself with the recent release of coming up here of Starfield being out there day one. And, all their games are day one out there. So a lot of their titles that are coming from their in-house developers and things like that are going straight to Game Pass, which, if Sony did that, that would be great. But Sony's not doing that. So with this price increase, it begs the question for me as a consumer, what am I getting extra out of this, right? And it doesn't seem like anything. At least they haven't clarified if there is something. They haven't clarified anything that they're adding or giving extra for this price increase. It seems like, hey, we're just going to increase the price on this service, right? And right now, I don't feel like, and this is me personally, I know that there's some gamers out there that do get benefit from it, and I get that. Right now, for me personally, having the service, I don't see the benefit of it at the moment, right? If they were to start to add, because every time they go in there with PlayStation Plus titles, the games that they're going to release every month, most of them I'll add them to my library, but I pretty much never download any of them and play them. And then I look through the PlayStation Plus, list, like I said, and I'm looking for particular games on there that I want to play. The unfortunate thing is once they get onto the service, I've already picked up that game on a discounted rate, right? Elix 2 is a good example. I played through Elix 1, love that game. I wanted to play Elix 2, but that game is expensive and I didn't want to buy it. And, a few months ago or so, before it came to PlayStation Plus, it came out on Xbox at a highly discounted rate one day. Like they had it on their sale and it was like super discounted. So I picked it up. And then about a month later or 2 later, Elix 2 came to the service. And it was like, well, I would play it on the PlayStation 2 or on the PlayStation. But unfortunately, I already picked it up. Right. And that seems to me to be my biggest issue with the service is once the games finally get to the service, I've already picked them up. I already own them because they have gone on discount at some point, and I just went and bought them because you don't really know when it's going to come to the service. They do put something out showing some of the games that are coming to the service that are coming to PlayStation Plus, but they don't list them all, right? They usually list a few of the big titles and they say and more, right? And you don't know what and more is. So once they finally come there, you can't plan ahead and say like, oh, hey, this is coming to PlayStation Plus. Cool. I won't pick it up on sale because this will be here in like a couple weeks. Whereas Xbox, they do list out everything coming to the service and everything leaving. Now, Sony does list everything leaving, but they don't do a great job of listing everything coming to the service. So I don't know. It just, with the price increase, it just baffles me why they are doing this other than greed, money, because the service doesn't, in my opinion, just doesn't have a lot to offer right now. It could in the future, but much like how Game Pass started, Game Pass at the beginning didn't have a lot to offer, and now it does. And PlayStation Plus at the moment, it's still fairly new compared to Game Pass, but it still doesn't have really much to offer compared to its rival at the moment, Game Pass. And the Game Pass has been out longer, but again, I don't think it's been out long enough to ask for a price increase. But let's go around and see what these guys think. Sorry, a little long-winded there, but let's see what these guys think. Shane, what do you think about this, man?
I'm trying not to be obscene, but Sony can lick my Vita. I am not paying that price. Period. Bar none. Will not happen. Not without day and date first party games. Period. Now, I understand price increases. Everybody's milking people right now. I mean, prices are up on everything, but their increases are ridiculous. I'm really trying not to cuss here because it's not like our Microsoft Game Pass went up $1, and then Game Pass Ultimate was up $2. Sorry, make sure that was clear. So that's $2 if you base it off Game Pass Ultimate. That's $2 more a month. So that's what, $24 or yeah, $24 more for Game Pass Ultimate. You get first party games, day and date, blah 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 blah. You're not getting shit for this increase from Sony. Pardon my language, but yeah, we've said this 1,000 times. Sony is a great game company. They're just a shitty company. They are terrible. For $20 more for Essential, you get Squat. You get the same Squat you got previously. The extra is, what was that? $35 frickin' dollars for extra, and then another $40 for frickin' premium. One, you shouldn't have 3 tiers. That's ridiculous. 2, Nick, I would have to argue, yes, Game Pass came out first. Game Pass has been out a while. That means there's precedence of what you can do with something like this. Sony can do better, much better. It's all about greed. It's nothing but greed. I love jumping in there and playing some of those classics. Legend of Dragoon, I played it, the other day because I keep forgetting to cancel my freaking subscription because I wanted to play some old crap. So I got it because I couldn't milk off of yours anymore. But it's a load of shit. Pardon me. Like, it's just such a load of greedy ass crap. To define their price increase, think of it as their new PlayStation handheld, Project Q. What was that? Project Portal or the PlayStation Portal?
Yeah.
That's not a handheld. That's a screen mirroring device for your PlayStation. That's it. Because you got to stay in your house. You got to be a same Wi-Fi. It's a load of crap. Sony is the dirtiest and most greediest company when it developers as far as game companies go. We know there's definitely more, but I absolutely know that because I love their first party studios. I love their console. I love that big old white beast sitting on my entertainment center. But it makes it really hard not to say, you know what, no more Sony. I'm done with you. It makes it hard because such blatant greed, and people will pay them for this. That's the reason they're getting away with it. That's the reason they're doing it. It's because they know they have a very dedicated fan base that doesn't see that they're getting, they're getting their Vita plowed, so it's ridiculous. And it disgusts me. It angers me so much, but I hate corporations and I hate corporate greed. And this is purely greed, plain and simple. Unless they came out and said, hey, we're going to put our first party games day and date with this increase, there's zero validity for this increase. I mean, but even if they did that, though, you would most likely have to be on the premium, which is $160 a year now. Now, that is that's less than 2 brand new games, Sony games a year at $70 for a new game. So it's not worth it. It's just not, because Sony don't put that many first party out in a year. When I do, they're awesome. Don't get me wrong, but it's just dirty. It's greedy. And I'm disgusted by it, but it is what it is, and I don't expect any better from Sony. So That's just me. What about you, Pat?
So I'm probably not as hard as you guys are on them, because they do.
Bastard.
I will give them the benefit of the doubt. They do give a discount for purchasing a year or 3 months. Microsoft said, screw you guys, no discount at all. You pay by the month. Do you know what Game Pass Ultimate costs for a year? $203.88.
Yes. What do you get for it, though?
So to break even, Game Pass has to supplement you not buying 3 games. To me, in my opinion, 70, 140, yeah. So 3 games. And it does that for me. There's by no means. If they had a yearly subscription plan, I would buy into it because but I will tell you guys this, I don't pay full price. All my Game Pass subscription comes from CD keys. So, which is usually like severely discounted.
Probably 20 to 30% on average.
Try more.
See, but here's the thing. At least Microsoft gives you that opportunity to get it cheaper. Sony, you can't buy that subscription from anywhere. You can't buy keys.
Yes, you
can.
Yeah, you can buy them from CD keys. PlayStation Plus Premium. Yep.
PlayStation Plus you can't Premium, buy their games anywhere, but you can buy their keys. You can buy keys for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you can put those in online. So you can redeem the codes online.
Now I'll take it back then. I did not know that because I don't typically do that.
Well, let's just put it this way.
At least for PlayStation.
CD keys. Do you know what a 12-month subscription to PlayStation Plus Premium is? Well, it was there. Where did it go? I think that I was looking and it disappeared off of me. Well, let's just do PlayStation Plus. PlayStation Plus is $65. I can't tell if this is that one, but let's do the Xbox one then. So Game Pass Ultimate is basically for a 3-month pack in the US. Come on. It's like $32 for 3 months. So
buy 2, get 1 free, damn near.
Buy 4 for a whole year. Yeah. Buy basically. So it comes out to like $32.09. Basically it's $128. So I save the cost of more than a video game and a half for that. And that's how I buy mine. I'll buy like 6 months or, I'll buy 6 months. Sometimes I'll buy a year, but it just depends. And they're legit reseller and everything. And their keys are good. And especially I do this now. I really wasn't doing it too often until they talked about raising their rates. And I'm like, $17 is, it's $2, but $2 is $24 more dollars a year, so there are ways around it, but I wish Microsoft would do a 3-month or a year-long discount because I would just do it from them. It's so much simpler for me. Just say, here's my credit card, bill me every year, or tell me you're about to bill me and give me the amount, So, but, and then here's the but, Sony's top tier, if you pay monthly, is more than Game Pass because it's $18 right now. That's not with an increase or anything. That's what it's always been. So, PlayStation Plus Premium is $18 a month or $50 every 3 months, which is still $200 for a year, which is still cheaper, more expensive than doing the premium 1 year, and then the Plus Extra is $15 a month or $40 every 3 months. And then Essentials was $10 a month or $25 every 3 months. So, there's still a substantial discount by buying them over the year, but they did this. Because this is a big increase, but how many people I wonder are actually doing, there's probably a lot for them to go, I think we can get away with raising premium $40 a year. And then extra $34 a year. And then the other one, like $20 a year. So they obviously think that there's enough people that's going to make up some shortfall or gap they have. Or maybe all those people will just dumb it down to the monthly subscription plan and be like, screw you guys until they raise those rates. For me, it's not cost effective. Like, I haven't turned on my PlayStation since it's been months. I think the last game reviewed, Final Fantasy 16. That's the last time I turned on my PlayStation. And I hate that because it's damn expensive machinery to just sit on my shelf and do nothing. But I've gotten so many games on PC. We played Baldur's Gate 3. I did Armored Core 6 on Xbox. And the games that come out on both, I just prefer the Xbox controller. The controller is what gets me a lot of times. I'm like, I just love this controller. I love the ease of use of Microsoft's game system. And what I mean by that is when I record game footage for our game reviews, I plug a drive into my Xbox and then I record it onto the drive. PlayStation, I can plug a drive into my PlayStation, but it still records on the local PlayStation. And I have to manually move it over, and it takes for freaking ever. It is the slowest transfer. I swear they're loading that shit on 3.5-inch floppy every time I'm moving it. And then a lot of times the controller will go offline and it's like, failed to copy device, can't find this. And I'm like, so I got to sit there while I'm transferring videos and wiggle the sticks on the controller every now and then so it doesn't go to sleep or doesn't, freak out on me. So, but I don't understand this price increase without offering more benefit, right? Because there's not offering any benefits right now that I could see. If they were offering more benefits, like if you guys said, I would almost consider it subscribing for a year if they gave first party games, but it would only be on the premium. And $160, so 3 PlayStation games a year. I think we do that typically, at least that, like this year would have been God of War, Ragnarok. At least we just did Final Fantasy 16 and we're about, and then Spider-Man will come out. We'll do Spider-Man. So that's 3. It would have paid for itself. And then maybe I'd have checked out a few more things that came onto there. But unless they're exclusives, I'm not really hopping over there to do anything with them. And that's the problem for me anyway. So I'm not quite as harsh on it as you guys are. I mean, it's still their premium tier is still cheaper than Xbox's premium, ultimate. So if you buy it by the year, if you don't buy it by the year, then it's close to being the same price. So, but in my opinion, first party
ultimate, but Xbox's ultimate provides more. And when I say more, but see, the thing that gets me at PlayStation, I'm sorry to interrupt, is the fact that I can play a lot of the classics, the PS1, PS2 era, which was the definitive era for PlayStation. Mm-hmm. But you can't play PS3 games. Not that I was a big fan of the PS3 era. I mean, it had some great stuff, don't get me wrong, but I wasn't that big of a fan. But it really bothers me that you have to stream everything. And I tried it just to try it, and it sucks ass badly. So I mean, there's
no emulator built into the PlayStation, so it's not able to properly play those games, which I understand makes sense. But, they're not as big into back compatibility as Microsoft. Microsoft basically spent man hours and dollars porting that stuff over, if you will. I mean, they basically made sure that it would run on the current ecosystem and current console. So, I mean, they'd spent money where PlayStation just said, we'll run an emulator on a server and you just stream it. It's easier for us to do than to spend man hours making this thing compatible with our current gen architecture. So, but yeah, I mean, to me, they did nothing to warrant the price increase. So I'm like, okay, it was $120 service for premium, no first party games. So for me, it was a no brainer to not do it. I did it for like 3 months. I did the 3 months and I'm like, I haven't been on here in the 3 months to play a damn thing. And what came out on there was like, I think Tsushima was on there, and I'm like, I already played that. I played it when it first came out. And that's what I do with Sony games. I play the games I want to play on there when they first came out, not 6 months down the road, like Nick was saying, or when and I'm like, so to me, the service is worthless. And I have gripes about Microsoft's system all day in and day in, because my biggest complaint about them is the stupid games with gold bullshit. That should be a dead service. And if I pay the $10.99 Game Pass, I should get what gold offered. In my opinion, Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate should come with multiplayer. Stop with the bullshit $10.99 and then the $9.99 freaking gold crap. That needs to go out the window. That's an antiquated way. And then they're basically going, you get a discount with Ultimate because it comes with games with gold. And I'm like, jerk me off some more, because I don't fucking care. Aren't they getting rid of it? No, they're not.
I thought that was on the chopping block.
No, because regular Game Pass doesn't come with it. So you can't play multiplayer games with gold.
And they're changing it to Game Pass Core.
Core, yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
And then they got rid of the monthly games. That's no longer a thing. Right. But Game Pass Core is, and that's what's coming out sometime in September this month, right? I think it's supposed to stay the same. So it's supposed to be $10, but it doesn't come with the games and crap. And I'm like, just
throw it in with the $10.99 plan and makes your extra dollar and just move on. But Microsoft is just making things difficult. They also don't want to release their family plan. And I understand that because they're going to lose their ass on money with that, because there goes the neighborhood with family plans, and you combine 5 people combining into one plan, because that's what the hell we be doing. So, but that's just me, Nick. You know, I mean, how do you feel about this? I mean, obviously premium's not quite the same as Xbox Game Pass Ultimate if you buy a year, but if you pay monthly, it's more. And Microsoft only offering monthly subscriptions. It's kind of a downer.
Yeah, it is. I wish Xbox offered yearly subscriptions instead of monthly. I'm glad that PlayStation offers yearly subscriptions, or different models, right? Monthly, quarterly, and yearly. While the price increase, you know, I'm not that big on, or that mad about the price increase if they offered a reasoning for it other than we're just going to increase the price, right? If they included something like, hey, now we're going to have X, Y, or Z. And so, you know, I mean, because Nintendo did this, right? They increased their yearly price, but they said, hey, we're now introducing Nintendo 64 and Genesis titles, right, to the service. Not that warranted necessarily a price increase, but, or they have 2 tiers now. I think there's a small, cheaper tier that doesn't have those, and then there's a higher tier that includes those, right? That higher tier that includes those wasn't necessarily necessary, I don't think, but they did it. But they gave you a justification for, you know, they gave you something for that. They said, hey, we're going to give you a new tier, and it's higher, but it includes these things. And so you're like, okay, but you know, in this case, Sony's like, hey, we're going to increase the price, and we're like, and we get. And they're like, oh, it's the same thing. I'm just, it's more expensive now. And you're like, oh, okay.
Well, they are throwing in the shaft.
Yes. You get
but
the
yeah,
full
so, but
shaft.
It's not self-rotating, though. You have to rotate it yourself.
Yes. Yeah. It's a manual. Don't ask for an automatic. You won't be able to afford a subscription after that. But Nintendo, they went, their yearly was $20. And then when they switched to being able to play Super or 64, excuse me, and whatnot, they went up to $50 a year. I personally still think it's worth it for Nintendo, because it's the staple of games that you get is phenomenal. No, Xbox, Microsoft, Sony, they can't beat it. Can't compete with that price to value. They can't. But it's all streaming too.
That's BS, because you don't get first party games and day one games on Nintendo.
Yeah, but you're still getting one hell of a library for a quarter of the price.
Yeah, that I could finish out what I want to play in a month.
Sony doesn't give you first party, and then theirs is 5 times the price, or you know, whatever the math works out.
There's first party titles in there. You just get them way later.
Or, yeah, I'm talking about when they first come out. I'm talking about day one. Now,
but still, but for the price to content, not even Game Pass competes with it. And don't get me wrong, I mean, but that's only if you are a diehard Nintendo fan who loves all their old games as much as, you know.
I would say the PlayStation price increase, I wouldn't have a problem with it if they were introducing with this day and date, day one Sony games coming to the service day one. Then I'd be like, hell, I'll pay $160 a year for that, because there's going to be at least 3 titles.
So Shane, you realize there's only like 100 and 102 games on the Nintendo subscription service, right? There's not.
Yeah.
There's over 400 games on Game Pass. So
I'm talking quality.
I'm talking quality too, because it's a lot of garbage.
Game Pass has a lot of great stuff. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the games I could play on the Switch Classic compared to Nintendo, Xbox, or even PlayStation, the library is vast. I mean, out of 100 games on Xbox compared to 100 games on Switch, I'll take the majority of the Switch games. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's always something great on Game Pass to find. I mean, Nick always finds stuff that just, you know, we enjoy, but I mean, that's just a Nintendo fan, though. So
They don't swap out games often enough for me.
I will agree with that. Definitely.
I mean, so you got 100 games to play through, and then once you play through the nostalgia and gotten through your games in a month and a half or 2 months, you really
can barely
play.
get through the 4 to 6 that we play in a freaking month.
That's
I'm not getting through that 100 for a while.
Nintendo is not worth their subscription price then in that aspect.
Well, then in that aspect, neither would Microsoft, neither would Game Pass, because I can't get through all of those games.
Except for you do. It keeps you from buying more than 3 games a year.
Oh, yes. But
Nintendo, doesn't.
We're not
do
talking
that.
about first party though. No,
I'm just talking about in general. I'm talking about in general, like
if I had to pay for one or the other, I mean, I could not have both. I would probably go Switch, just because I know because Microsoft games I could just buy if I wanted to. But Nintendo, that's because I love old Nintendo games. So I mean, that's my big thing. Shit, not at that fucking price. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
We would just take that games convention and
well, that's because that's what you're there for. But I mean, because what you guys are interested in, what I'm interested in is way different. I'm interested in playing some of the old games, and I'll go back and play them for nostalgia.
Yeah.
But I'm not going back and playing Double Dragon to beat it, or I'm not going back to play whatever on the retro. I'm not going back to play Mario 64 to beat it from start to finish again. I'll play it and be like, oh, this is cool. I remember this. And I'll make it through a couple of maps and I'm like, all right, I'm ready for something new that I haven't done before. And so then I'm hopping over to. So for me, I need games that are getting swapped out for stuff that's new and coming in. I can only go so much retro, and I'm like, I need more new. So yeah, to me, it makes more sense. But maybe for you guys, if I had one subscription and one yearly subscription only, I'm going Game Pass. I'm not doing Nintendo and I'm not doing PlayStation. I'll pick Nintendo over PlayStation though. So guaranteed that's happening. But because PlayStation is just too expensive and not enough games that I really want to play that I couldn't play somewhere else. So we're in 2 different realms. I don't know, Nick, what about you? If you had to pick one of the 3, and that's all you could have, which one of the 3 would you take?
There could be only one.
Only one. There can be only one.
Highlander. I would pick Game Pass because with Game Pass I have it on my Xbox and my PC. It also comes with EA Play and some of that stuff.
I did not do the PC part of it, so I would put Game Pass just Game Pass Ultimate over the Switch. But if it was just between regular console Game Pass or Switch, I would probably go Switch. But that's just me. Yeah. Wow, this got off topic real bad.
Well, no, I mean, it's still on topic. It's still a subscription, because I think one of my complaints about Nintendo too is that when the service originally released, they were pretty regularly, monthly, I should say, releasing new titles, swapping titles, rotating them out. And I think right now it's whenever the hell they feel like it, which is typical Nintendo for you. Like, you don't know when the next time they're going to roll out a new set of games is. It could be a month. It could be 4 months. It could be whenever. There's no set schedule anymore on the Nintendo system. They're just like, we feel like rotating games out this month. And guess what? At least with like PlayStation and Xbox, you get a little bit of notice, right? You're like, hey, here's the upcoming games for September, and things like that. So, I mean, but if we're talking about deal, $50 is cheaper than PlayStation and Microsoft. So in that case, you just stick with playing those games for $50. That's the cheapest deal you can get right now. Xbox, in my opinion, has the better overall value. Like, it's not the cheapest plan, but I get the newest stuff and some old stuff and some indie stuff and everything all mixed in. PlayStation, I can get a lot of stuff from past and things like that. And that's cool if that's what you're into, but you're not getting a whole lot of new stuff. The new stuff is like later, whatever later is to them could be 3 months, 6 months, a year, could be longer. There's stuff that's been out for a while that's like best play, if they still did like PlayStation hits, it would be on that list and it's still not on their service, so I don't know. I'm as much as I hate it, I'm getting more and more biased towards Microsoft as the days go on, but I still don't want to see any of the 3 fail. I want all 3 to be there, but at the same time, PlayStation is doing dumb shit.
Well, before we go, just bring back Dreamcast and we'll all be happy.
Well, I guess if they add Dreamcast to, well, I guess that would be Nintendo. Nintendo would have to add Dreamcast to their services because they're the one partnering with Sega. Don't they have some? I mean, I don't know.
Microsoft had some partnerships too, but
yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, it's Sony's screwing their customers as normal. I mean, plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, if you use Game Pass Premium or Essentials or Extra now, and you get benefit out of it, just know that the prices are going up for that, and really for you as an individual, you just have to outweigh, does the price increase? Does it outweigh going out and buying these games, or the experience that I get from PlayStation Plus? Is it worth it for that price increase to me as an individual? Right. For me, once my Game Pass or PlayStation Plus subscription expires, I'm not probably, unless Sony does something before then, I'm not looking to expand it because I don't play it a lot today. And it's not that I don't look at it or anything. I play my PlayStation quite often, probably more often than these guys. But I don't look at I do look at the PlayStation Plus games that are on there and the retro games, the newer games and stuff. But I just don't ever find anything on there that I need to download and start playing. Right. And so, it's unfortunate because, like I said, a lot of the games on there I already own or I've already played, or, I've either played them on the Xbox or I played them on PC, or maybe I already own a physical copy of them and sitting behind me in my shelves of games, so I don't need to play it on PlayStation Plus. So it is what it is, but really it just comes down to does it make sense to you as a consumer? I think the price increase is pretty crazy. That's a hell of a jump from what they're at now, and they don't really justify it with anything other than they're not offering anything new, and that's unfortunate. So, but you guys got anything else you want to add to this?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Let us know down in the comments below. Do you have a subscription to PlayStation Plus, Extras, Essentials, or Premium? And are you planning on, once the price increase happens, are you planning on keeping with that subscription model, even at the higher price point? And if so, so some people might buy, they might be in the case where they don't buy any games, right? They just play through the subscription model. And hey, that's a way to do it, right? You don't buy any games for the Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo. You just buy the yearly subscription and play the games that come out to that. And there's no wrong way of doing it. So that would be even with the price increase, you would still get your money's worth. If that's the only thing you're doing, right? They might be older titles, but still you get to experience them when they come to the service. So, hey, more power to you. But let us know down in the comments below. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already. It helps out. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.